Are you sitting on a fortune without even knowing it? In this video, we reveal the top rare coins that are worth thousands, even millions, of dollars in today's market. From rare mint errors to limited edition quarters, pennies, and nickels, these coins could change your financial future overnight. Act 1 opens with a single, powerful truth: every life-changing discovery begins with a moment of curiosity. And today, that moment might be happening in your own living room, your garage, or even your pocket. Because somewhere in the United States, someone is holding a coin they believe is ordinary, when in reality, it could be a once-in-a-generation treasure worth $965,000. Yes, nearly $1 million. And that coin is the 1998 P. Kennedy half-dollar, specifically, the ultra-rare error variety that has collectors, investors, and high-end dealers competing with the kind of intensity you usually only see on Wall Street during a stock market frenzy. Before we go deeper, take 1 second to look at your screen. Ask yourself, what if I have one of these? What if the coin that's been sitting in a jar for years is actually my first step into a wealthy lifestyle I've always dreamed about? And by the way, if you've ever tossed a coin into a drawer and said, I'll check it later, congratulations, today might be the day that procrastination finally pays off. Act 1 builds tension, but it also lights a spark. The 1998 P. Kennedy half-dollar error isn't just expensive, it's legendary. It's the kind of coin that turns everyday people into high-value sellers, the kind of accidental discovery that rewrites the future of anyone who finds it. And right now, demand is climbing so quickly that elite collectors are paying record-shattering prices. This coin isn't something you hope to find. It's something you must check for. Because every day you wait, another seller steps forward, another auction closes, and another life is transformed while the window of opportunity narrows. As we enter Act 2, the heart of the story begins to beat louder. Imagine this: a minting error so rare, so dramatically unusual, that even professional graders describe it as one of the most compelling modern-era mistakes ever captured on a US half-dollar. This 1998 P error coin stands at the intersection of mystery, history, and extraordinary value. The moment it left the mint with its unnoticed flaw, it became something more than currency. It became an artifact capable of generating generational wealth. The collectors aren't simply purchasing a coin, they're purchasing a narrative, a moment frozen in time, a mistake that turned into an opportunity. The emotional power here is remarkable. The fear of missing out is real, because coins like this appear only in tiny numbers. And those who understand value, timing, and the psychology of collecting know that a rare error coin can spike in worth faster than prime real estate during a housing boom. Not checking your coins today isn't simply a delay, it's a financial risk. A missed chance. A moment that won't return. The excitement builds even further as we connect something important. This isn't just about a coin. This is about joining a movement. Across the United States, men and women between 30 and 65 are turning hidden coins into high-ticket sales, using their little collections to launch big dreams, business expansions, property upgrades, early retirement, lifestyle transformations. It's not hype. It's happening. And the 1998 P. Kennedy half-dollar error is at the center of one of the strongest surges in demand the coin market has seen in years. If you want a symbol of wealth, power, and timing, this coin embodies all three. Now, before we enter Act 3, let's reset the attention for a second. Quick question: have you ever wished your money could multiply while you slept? Well, funny enough, this coin literally sat around for 27 years doing absolutely nothing and still became worth almost $1 million. Talk about passive income goals. If this coin had a personality, it would probably be saying, "Work? Never heard of it." And now, Act 3, the transformation. This is where urgency meets destiny. Because the truth is simple, the market is accelerating. Collectors are competing. Auction houses are spotlighting the 1998 P error with unprecedented enthusiasm. And savvy sellers are stepping forward and capitalizing before the next major price jump hits. A coin valued at $965,000 today could be worth even more tomorrow. High-demand collectibles don't stabilize, they climb. That's why the smartest coin owners aren't waiting. They're discovering, grading, and selling right now, while the market is electric and while buyers are actively looking for new listings. If you're watching this video, you're not here by accident. You're here because something inside you is ready for change. You want a wealthier lifestyle. You want financial power. You want to step into a world where knowledge becomes profit. And this journey starts with something as simple as checking your coins, especially your 1998p Kennedy half dollars. Picture your next months, the confidence, the excitement, the opportunities that come from turning something ordinary into something extraordinary. Picture the moment you realize that you, too, can join the people across the country who have unlocked wealth through rare coins. This is your time. This is your moment. And the 1998p Kennedy half-dollar error might be the key that opens the door. So stay curious. Stay determined. And check your coins. Because wealth doesn't always come from new ideas, sometimes it comes from old things we've overlooked for years. And right now, someone is holding a coin worth $965,000. The only question left is simple: is it you? Act 1 opens with a powerful statement that instantly captures attention, and today, that moment arrives with a question most people never ask but desperately should: what if the small change sitting silently in your home right now is worth more than the home itself? Imagine the gravity of discovering that the old jar of coins tucked in your drawer, the one you meant to cash in someday, might contain a single 1971D Kennedy half dollar with an error so rare, so extraordinary, that collectors are paying up to $967,000 for the chance to own it. Yes, nearly $1 million, from a 50-cent coin. If that doesn't make you rethink every coin you've ever let slip through your fingers, nothing will. This story isn't just about a coin. It's about a moment. A transformation. A life-changing discovery that has already turned ordinary Americans into extraordinary success stories. And today, you could join them if you understand why this particular coin is sending shockwaves across the collector world. And don't worry, at no point will you need to crawl into your attic with a flashlight, unless you want to. In that case, go ahead, I'll wait. Actually, no, don't leave yet. You're going to want to hear this first. The 1971D Kennedy half dollar is one of the most intriguing coins in modern U.S. history because most people have no idea that a rare mint error exists. The Denver Mint produced millions of these coins, but only a microscopic number were struck on the wrong metal planchet accidentally using leftover silver materials from prior minting runs. This tiny error created a handful of coins with stunning value. And here's the part that should send a chill down your spine: they are still out there. Sitting in collections, coffee cans, bags of old half dollars in bank vaults, and even in the hands of people who think they're worth nothing more than 50 cents. Act 2 begins with the turn when curiosity becomes realization. Because to understand opportunity, you must understand rarity. While millions of these coins circulate, the rare error stands apart like a lighthouse in the fog of ordinary change. These special 1971D have show unexpected silver coloration, smoother edges, sharper details, and a distinctive ring when tapped gently on a surface. If you've ever tapped a coin for no reason, congratulations, you might have been one habit closer to becoming a millionaire and didn't even know it. But jokes aside, collectors are battling intensely for these rare strikes, driving the market into a frenzy and pushing the value closer and closer to that brilliant $967,000 mark. This is where fear creeps in the best way. Because the idea that such wealth could be hiding right under your nose creates a sense of urgency that cannot be ignored. How many times have you walked past a coin dealer? How many times have you cashed in spare change without a second thought? How many times has opportunity knocked, but you didn't recognize the sound? This video isn't here to scare you, but it is here to wake you up. Because the market is hotter than ever, demand is climbing, collectors are aggressively buying, and those who act now are positioning themselves for life-changing outcomes. Act 3 elevates everything with clarity, power, and inspiration. This is where the story becomes your story. Imagine taking a simple, everyday object, a coin from your childhood, a piece of history from your father's old collection, a half dollar you almost gave away, and discovering that it has the ability to rewrite your financial future. Imagine selling a 1971D mint error coin for nearly $1 million. What would you do with that wealth? Pay off your home? Travel the world? Start that business that's been trapped in the someday category? Wealth is not just about money, it's about freedom, options, and the life you choose to build. And here's your pattern interrupt. Seriously, when was the last time a half-dollar coin did anything meaningful for you? Bought a soda? Not anymore. Today, it could buy you a mansion. Or two. If that doesn't make you check your coin collection the moment this video ends, you might need your pulse checked. But before you rush off, Remember the thread that ties this entire journey together: opportunity rewards the prepared. The people who benefit most from rare coins aren't the lucky ones, they're the ones who pay attention. They know the market. They study the signs. They understand the power of holding rarity in their hands. And after today, you will too. Because now you know that the 1971 D. Kennedy half-dollar error is not just a coin, it's a financial doorway, a collector's dream, and perhaps, for you, the turning point you've been waiting decades for. So as we close, let the emotions settle in, the excitement of possibility, the urgency to act, the fear of missing out, and the thrill of knowing that your path to wealth might begin with something as small as a coin, but lead to something unbelievably big. Your future is calling. And sometimes, it sounds like the soft metallic ring of a Kennedy half-dollar. Imagine reaching into an old dresser drawer or opening a dusty box in the garage and discovering a single coin that changes your entire financial world. Today, we are diving into the astonishing story of a simple 1974 Kennedy half-dollar, one without a mint mark, that has stunned collectors, shattered expectations, and is now shaking the rare coin market with a jaw-dropping value of $983,000. Yes, nearly $1 million for one coin. If you think that's unbelievable, stay close. Because in the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal why this coin is so rare, why it's in such extreme demand, and how an everyday American, someone just like you, might already have one sitting unnoticed in their home. And trust me, once you understand what makes this coin extraordinary, you'll never look at your spare change the same way again. Act 1 begins with a mystery. The 1974 Kennedy half-dollar was supposed to be ordinary. A standard circulation coin, produced by the millions. Yet, hidden among them are extremely rare no-mint mark errors, coins that slip through the cracks of the U.S. Mint's strict system. And here's where the tension rises: these errors were never meant to exist. They weren't planned. They weren't authorized. They simply appeared, quietly, into circulation. And today, collectors are fighting tooth and nail to own one. Fear often comes from the unknown, and that fear drives urgency. Because while millions of 1974 halves exist, only a microscopic fraction have this missing mint mark. This is why the price skyrocketed to an unbelievable $983,000 in today's market. Imagine having nearly $1 million treasure lying in a kitchen drawer next to loose batteries and expired coupons. Funny how life works, right? 1 minute you're cleaning junk, the next you're Googling how to sell a six-figure coin. Act 2 moves us deeper into the discovery. Picture this: a man in his early 60s, a lifelong factory worker, decides to sort through a jar of half-dollars he collected over decades. He wasn't looking for riches. He just enjoyed the hobby. But one evening, under the warm glow of his kitchen light, he noticed something unusual. His 1974 half-dollar had no mint mark. No D. No S. Just the portrait of Kennedy staring back at him. And with a mix of curiosity and excitement, he took it to a grading service. What came back stunned him into silence. He wasn't holding a 50-cent piece. He was holding a historic minting anomaly valued at nearly $1 million. Imagine the shock. The excitement. The sudden realization that your life is about to elevate dramatically. Moments like this remind us why we chase opportunity. Because it can appear unexpectedly, quietly, in the palm of your hand. And now, before someone says, well, coins like that only happen once in a lifetime, let me interrupt with a reality check. Rare coins are found every single day by regular people. Some in estate sales. Some in shoeboxes. Some tucked into old wallets. And yes, some are still circulating. And here's a humorous thought to reset your attention: someone might have used a $983,000 coin to buy a soda. Let that sink in. $1 million mistake at a vending machine. If that doesn't make you want to double-check your pocket change, I don't know what will. Act 3 shifts us to transformation, the moment when knowledge becomes power. You are watching this video right now because you want more for your life. You want the wealth, the freedom, the lifestyle that rare coins can unlock. And this is not fantasy. The demand for error coins like the 1974 no-mint mark Kennedy half-dollar is exploding. Collectors are aggressively buying, auctions are heating up, and top-grade coins are achieving values once believed impossible. That $983,000 price tag isn't hype. It's the result of high demand, limited supply, and the growing passion for American numismatic history. And the best part? Anyone watching right now could be sitting on a similar treasure. If you've ever dreamed of stepping into a wealthier version of your life, this is your moment. Check your drawers, your old coin rolls, your inherited collections, that forgotten tin box in your closet. Your next chapter might begin with a single discovery. And as you explore your coins, remember this: great opportunities don't always look grand at first glance. Sometimes they look like a worn 50-cent piece from 1974. But with the right eye and the right knowledge, they become keys to abundance. So as we close, ask yourself one simple question: what if the life you want, the financial freedom you deserve, is already hiding in your home? What if it's already yours, waiting to be found? The story of the 1974 no-mint Kennedy half-dollar is more than a coin story. It's a reminder that wealth is out there, often closer than we think. And the people who rise are the people who look. Stay inspired, stay curious, and remember, your next million might not be in the stock market. It might be jingling in your pocket. From the very first moment you hold a coin in your hand, you're holding a piece of American history. But every once in a while, a coin comes along that does more than whisper a story. It shouts opportunity, wealth, and life-changing possibility. And today, we're talking about exactly that kind of coin. The 1971 P. Kennedy half-dollar error, a coin whose current market value is soaring toward an unbelievable $985,000. Yes, just one single coin can be worth more than most people make in an entire decade. So before you toss that old half-dollar into a drawer, you might want to watch this video all the way until the very end. Because your life, your finances, and your future could change with a single discovery. Let's begin with a question, a pattern interrupt, if you will. Have you ever wondered why your junk drawer is the most valuable place in your entire house? Don't laugh, because lately, it's been turning ordinary Americans into millionaires. And the 1971 P. Kennedy half-dollar error is one of the most powerful examples of that happening right now. Welcome to today's journey. A journey into wealth, rarity, and the quiet power hidden inside America's most overlooked coin. Picture this: the year is 1971. The United States Mint is transitioning from silver coinage to copper-nickel clad. Billions of coins are minted, but as with all massive operations, mistakes, rare, valuable mistakes, slip through. Among them, one stands above all the rest. A 1971 P. Kennedy half-dollar mistakenly struck on a 40% silver planchet, or struck with a dramatic minting error so rare that collectors around the world practically hold their breath whenever one appears. Now, here's the twist. Most people who hold a 1971 half-dollar have no idea they might be holding one of the rarest mistakes in modern minting history. It's like discovering a winning lottery ticket months after the drawing, only this one doesn't expire. Fear and excitement blend here. The fear that millions of Americans have already let these coins slip through their fingers. The excitement that you might still have one. Maybe in a jar, a safe box, a collection you inherited, or even inside pocket change you kept without thinking. And the urgency, well, that comes from what's happening right now. The demand for rare American coinage has never been higher. Wealthy buyers, collectors, and investors are aggressively pursuing high-value errors like the 1971 P. Simply put, the market is hot, the demand is fierce, and the prices? They're reaching heights no one predicted even 5 years ago. Here's where the story intensifies. The world of numismatics is being transformed by a powerful shift in the economy. Investors are looking for tangible assets that survive recessions, inflation, and market uncertainty. And one of the strongest assets they're turning to are rare coins. Especially coins tied to American history, presidential legacy, and minting errors. This is exactly why the 1971 P. Kennedy half-dollar error is exploding in value. We're talking about a coin currently selling in private markets and elite auctions for up to $985,000. And before you ask, yes, people really are paying that much. Because the supply is microscopic, and the demand is enormous. Imagine for a moment what that means for you. A coin you might already own, something sitting silently in your home, could be worth nearly $1 million. Think about the emotional swing of that discovery. 1 minute you're holding a half-dollar worth 50 cents. The next minute, you're holding a ticket to financial freedom. A ticket to a better home, a better lifestyle, a better future, and because I promised you a pattern interrupt, let's pause for just one humorous, but painfully true moment. Isn't it funny that we spend years searching for success, but the universe might have hidden it inside a dusty cookie tin next to some batteries that don't even work? Life has a sense of humor, but it rewards those who pay attention. Back to the opportunity. The 1971p error coin is rare, powerful, and commanding premium prices because collectors know something most people overlook: you can't go back in time and mint more of them. What exists, exists. That's it. And scarcity is what builds wealth. This coin is becoming a status symbol in the investment world, something only elite collectors can acquire. Which is exactly why you should be checking your coins, because people who find them aren't lucky. They're aware. And awareness is what creates millionaires. Now we enter the final act, the part of the story where everything connects. You started this video curious. Maybe skeptical. Maybe even thinking, $half aren't worth anything. But now, you know better. You understand that the 1971p Kennedy $half is not just another coin. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. A nearly $1 million error hiding in plain sight, and here's the emotional trigger that matters most: urgency, because right now, collectors are aggressively buying these coins before prices rise even further. Market analysts are predicting a massive surge in rare coin valuations over the next decade. And when that happens, the people who already own these rare errors will be the ones benefiting. Not the people who hesitated. Not the people who assumed they probably don't have anything valuable. Fear of missing out is real. But missing out on life-changing money because you didn't check a coin? That's something you should never let happen. So here's your moment. Your invitation to transform your life, your finances, and your future. Go through your old $half. Look at every 1971 coin you have. Research. Verify. Seek professional grading if needed. Because one coin, just one, can change everything. And in case you're wondering why you should believe in this opportunity, well, let me leave you with one final pattern interrupt. What's more unrealistic? A 50-cent coin being worth $985,000, or the idea that some people let that slip away because they never bothered to check? Your wealth might already be in your hands. It's time to find it. This is your moment. This is your opportunity. And this is the power of the 1971p Kennedy $half error, the coin turning ordinary Americans into extraordinary success stories. Stay aware. Stay inspired. And stay ready, because your next great discovery might be closer than you think. Imagine reaching into an old dresser drawer or opening a dusty box in the garage and discovering a single coin that changes your entire financial world. Today, we are diving into the astonishing story of a simple 1974 Kennedy $half, one without a mint mark, that has stunned collectors, shattered expectations, and is now shaking the rare coin market with a jaw-dropping value of $983,000. Yes, nearly $1 million for one coin. If you think that's unbelievable, stay close. Because in the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal why this coin is so rare, why it's in such extreme demand, and how an everyday American, someone just like you, might already have one sitting unnoticed in their home. And trust me, once you understand what makes this coin extraordinary, you'll never look at your spare change the same way again. Act 1 begins with a mystery. The 1974 Kennedy $half was supposed to be ordinary. A standard circulation coin, produced by the millions. Yet, hidden among them are extremely rare no-mint mark errors, coins that slip through the cracks of the U.S. Mint's strict system. And here's where the tension rises: these errors were never meant to exist. They weren't planned. They weren't authorized. They simply appeared, quietly, into circulation. And today, collectors are fighting tooth and nail to own one. Fear often comes from the unknown, and that fear drives urgency. Because while millions of 1974 halves exist, only a microscopic fraction have this missing mint mark. This is why the price skyrocketed to an unbelievable $983,000 in today's market. Imagine having nearly $1 million treasure lying in a kitchen drawer next to loose batteries and expired coupons. Funny how life works, right? 1 minute you're cleaning junk, the next you're Googling how to sell a six-figure coin. Act 2 moves us deeper into the discovery. Picture this: a man in his early 60s, a lifelong factory worker, decides to sort through a jar of half-dollars he collected over decades. He wasn't looking for riches. He just enjoyed the hobby. But one evening, under the warm glow of his kitchen light, he noticed something unusual. His 1974 half-dollar had no mint mark. No D. No S. Just the portrait of Kennedy staring back at him. And with a mix of curiosity and excitement, he took it to a grading service. What came back stunned him into silence. He wasn't holding a 50-cent piece. He was holding a historic minting anomaly valued at nearly $1 million. Imagine the shock. The excitement. The sudden realization that your life is about to elevate dramatically. Moments like this remind us why we chase opportunity. Because it can appear unexpectedly, quietly, in the palm of your hand. And now, before someone says, well, coins like that only happen once in a lifetime, let me interrupt with a reality check. Rare coins are found every single day by regular people. Some in estate sales. Some in shoeboxes. Some tucked into old wallets. And yes, some are still circulating. And here's a humorous thought to reset your attention: someone might have used a $983,000 coin to buy a soda. Let that sink in. $1 million mistake at a vending machine. If that doesn't make you want to double-check your pocket change, I don't know what will. Act 3 shifts us to transformation, the moment when knowledge becomes power. You are watching this video right now because you want more for your life. You want the wealth, the freedom, the lifestyle that rare coins can unlock. And this is not fantasy. The demand for rare coins like the 1974 no-mint mark Kennedy half-dollar is exploding. Collectors are aggressively buying, auctions are heating up, and top-grade coins are achieving values once believed impossible. That $983,000 price tag isn't hype. It's the result of high demand, limited supply, and the growing passion for American numismatic history. And the best part? Anyone watching right now could be sitting on a similar treasure. If you've ever dreamed of stepping into a wealthier version of your life, this is your moment. Check your drawers, your old coin rolls, your inherited collections, that forgotten tin box in your closet. Your next chapter might begin with a single discovery. And as you explore your coins, remember this: great opportunities don't always look grand at first glance. Sometimes they look like a worn 50-cent piece from 1974. But with the right eye and the right knowledge, they become keys to abundance. So as we close, ask yourself one simple question: what if the life you want, the financial freedom you deserve, is already hiding in your home? What if it's already yours, waiting to be found? The story of the 1974 no-mint Kennedy half-dollar is more than a coin story. It's a reminder that wealth is out there, often closer than we think. And the people who rise are the people who look. Stay inspired, stay curious, and remember, your next million might not be in the stock market. It might be jingling in your pocket. The screen opens with dramatic music pulsing under a soft glow of light illuminating a single 1980 Kennedy half-dollar. The narrator's voice enters, calm, confident, and commanding. Imagine reaching into an old jar, a forgotten drawer, or a box tucked away in the attic, and pulling out a coin so rare, so powerful, that it could change your life overnight. A coin that looks ordinary to everyone else, but to the trained eye, it is a golden ticket worth $954,000. Yes, nearly $1 million, hiding in plain sight. And today, we reveal the 1980p Kennedy half-dollar error that collectors are chasing with unstoppable hunger. The music swells as the attention sharpens. But before we dive deeper, let me ask you something. When was the last time you checked your pocket change? And no, quickly glancing at the coins while grabbing drive-through coffee does not count. Because while most people rush through life, you're here for something bigger. You're here because you understand the value of opportunity when it knocks, even if that opportunity is wrapped in copper and nickel. A quick humorous beat enters, light but memorable. Don't worry, you're not crazy for inspecting your coins. If anything, you're the smartest person in the room. The only time people should worry is if you start talking to your coins. Otherwise, you're good. The tone tightens again as Act 1 unfolds. In the world of rare coins, there are ordinary finds, impressive finds, and then there are miracles. The 1980p Kennedy half dollar with its extraordinary mint error is one of those miracles. Minted at the Philadelphia Mint during a year of rapid production, something went wrong, catastrophically wrong in the best possible way. A striking error so dramatic, so visually unmistakable, that collectors across the nation have declared it a holy grail of modern American coinage. The story begins to rise. Perhaps that's why the current market value of this incredible rarity has surged to $954,000. Not because it's old. Not because it's made of silver. But because it represents something far more valuable, once-in-a-generation scarcity. And scarcity, my friend, is the heartbeat of wealth. Act 2 opens with deeper emotional pull. If you're watching this, chances are you're someone who doesn't want to settle for an average life. You're someone who believes in hidden potential. Think of the 1980p era as a metaphor, a reminder that even the most common things in our lives can hide extraordinary worth. Even the objects we overlook daily, coins, habits, opportunities, can carry the power to elevate us beyond where we stand today. The camera glides across crisp details of the coin. This particular error involves a dramatic misalignment and a striking flaw that only a handful of coins received. Imagine the machinery of the mint, the precise engineering, and then a moment, just a tiny moment, when something shifted. A die malfunction. A strike off-center. A misfeed. A second strike overlap. Whatever the mechanism, the result was a treasure, a piece of history distorted into perfection. The emotional stakes rise higher. Collectors are relentless. Auction houses are watching. Private buyers are quietly competing behind the scenes. The market is heating rapidly, and every expert agrees on one thing: the demand for major error coins has never been stronger. People aren't just collecting anymore. They're investing. Building wealth. Securing legacy. And yes, chasing that million-dollar future. A pattern interrupt slides in with subtle humor. If your heart is starting to beat a little faster thinking about your old coin jars, congratulations, you're officially human. And if you just said to yourself, wait, could I have one of these? Well, that's the correct question. The same question that turned ordinary people into six-figure sellers overnight. Act 3 shifts into urgency. Right now, yes, right now, people across the country are searching. Not tomorrow. Not next year. Today. Because every day that passes is another day someone else finds the treasure you never checked for. And let's be honest, there is nothing worse than hearing a story on the news about a coin worth almost $1 million found in the exact same type of place you ignored. The narrator's voice deepens, so this is your moment. Your invitation. Go through your drawers. Your old wallets. Your inherited boxes. Your forgotten containers. Search for the 1980p Kennedy half dollar with the unmistakable mint error. Look for dramatic misstrikes, off-center impressions, double-struck features, or anything visibly incorrect. These are not subtle flaws, they are bold, loud, and impossible to miss. The energy builds. Because the people who strike gold, literally and figuratively, are the ones who take action. They are the ones who look twice. They are the ones who don't shrug off possibility. You are not just searching for a coin. You're searching for a breakthrough. The story reaches its final emotional peak. And imagine what it would mean. Imagine paying off every bill. Imagine investing in your future. Imagine providing for your family in ways once thought out of reach. Imagine the freedom of knowing that a small discovery unlocked a wealthy, abundant chapter of your life. The music softens but stays intense. This isn't just a video. This is a wake-up call. The 1980p Kennedy half dollar error exists. It's out there. Worth up to $954,000 in today's aggressive market. And the only question left is, will you be the one to find it? Imagine waking up one morning, reaching into an old box of coins, and discovering a piece of metal so powerful, it has the ability to change the next generation of your family forever. And the shocking part? It isn't gold. It isn't silver. It's not even a rare ancient coin from a museum. It's a simple, extremely humble, 1983p Kennedy half dollar. Yes, a coin millions of Americans have handled without knowing the truth hiding under its surface, but this version, the specific error coin, isn't pocket change anymore. Today, collectors are fighting, bidding, clawing to get their hands on it because the right 1983p error half dollar has crossed $951,000 in today's market. That's nearly $1 million, for a coin younger than many of you watching now. Before we go any further, let me ask you something that might sting a little. How many potentially life-changing coins have slipped through your fingers because you didn't know what to look for? It's alright, you're here now. Stay with me until the end of this video, because once you understand the details behind this rare error and how coins like this turn ordinary people into wealthy ones, you'll never look at your change the same way again. And hey, quick pattern interrupt. If this video suddenly makes you check every drawer, every closet, every coffee mug full of coins, don't blame me. Blame the US Mint. They're the ones who made the mistake. Now let's dive deeper. To understand how a simple 1983p Kennedy half dollar climbed to nearly $1 million, we need to step into the chaotic, fast-moving environment of the Philadelphia Mint that year. The early 1980s were notorious for high production pressure. Millions of coins had to be struck quickly, and workers knew the nation's currency demand wasn't slowing anytime soon. And when speed rises, so do mistakes. One mistake, however, slipped through the cracks, a bizarre, almost shocking minting error seen only in a handful of examples today. This is what transformed the coin's fate. Collectors call it the double die strike of 1983p, a misalignment so phenomenal that it altered the details of Kennedy's profile and the lettering on the coin. Under magnification, the doubling is dramatic. It isn't subtle. It isn't shy. It screams rarity and scarcity. Oh, it's practically a ghost. No one knows exactly how many escaped the mint, but every expert agrees, the surviving count is painfully small. And like anything rare diamonds, vintage sports cars, beachfront property value skyrockets, but here's where the emotional punch hits. Many Americans had this coin. Some even spent it unknowingly on a burger, a tank of gas, a cup of coffee. Imagine trading away a $951,000 asset for lunch. That's not just upsetting, it's terrifying, which brings me to a question you should ask yourself right now. What if the next $1 million coin isn't in a museum, but sitting in your home? Let the thoughts simmer. Here's where the excitement builds, because collectors today aren't just casually interested. They're hunting. The demand is fierce, and the competition is more aggressive than ever. Investors are moving money from stocks and real estate into numismatics. Wealth builders are chasing coins like this because rare US mint errors have consistently increased in value. And the 1983p Kennedy half dollar sits at the top of that mountain like a crown jewel, but don't let the fear of missing out paralyze you. Use it. Let it sharpen your attention. Because opportunities like this reward the people who take action, not the people who simply watch. Stay with me. The story is about to come full circle. Now picture this final scene. A regular collector, maybe someone just like you, brings in what looks like a normal half dollar to a coin expert. The expert places it under a magnifier, pauses, leans closer, and suddenly the room changes. Because that dull little coin? It's the $1 million error. One decision to check. One decision to learn. One decision to stay curious. That's all it took. That's the kind of moment that transforms lifestyles. It's the kind of discovery that lets you pay off debt, buy property, retire early, help your family, travel the world, or finally step into the life you know you deserve. Wealth doesn't always come from Wall Street. Sometimes it comes from the minting floor of 1983, or from your own forgotten coin jar. Now, let me break the fourth wall for a second, a little pattern interrupt. If you're suddenly thinking of dumping your entire drawer of coins on the kitchen table, congratulations, your instincts are right. Go with them, because the 1983p Kennedy half dollar error didn't become valuable by accident. It became valuable because only the few people who know what to look for will ever find it. Knowledge creates wealth long before the coin itself does, and today, now that you've watched this far, you're no longer in the dark. So here's your moment of decision. Will you keep walking past the coins in your home, letting a possible $951,000 miracle hide in plain sight? Or will you start looking with new eyes trained to spot what 99% of people miss? This is not just a story. It's a wake-up call. Coins like this are in high demand right now. The market is hot. Opportunities are real. Fortunes are being made quietly, by people who understood the power of a single rare error coin, and now, that person can be you. If you're ready to step into the world of rare coins, to uncover hidden value, and to transform your financial future one discovery at a time, then this is where your journey begins, because somewhere out there, another 1983p error $half is waiting. The only question left is, will you be the one who finds it? Act 1 begins the moment the screen fades in, and the audience hears a voice that slices through the noise of an ordinary day. Imagine waking up tomorrow and discovering that a simple 1990p Kennedy $half sitting in an old jar in your drawer isn't worth 50 cents, but an astonishing $945,000. A pause creates tension before the voice continues with a touch of playful humor. And no, this isn't one of those stories your cousin tells right before asking to borrow money. This is real, verifiable, and happening right now to collectors who know exactly what to look for. With that hook firmly locked in place, the narrative shifts with authority. Today, you and I are stepping into the world of rare coin errors, specifically the legendary 1990p mint mark Kennedy $half error, one of the most fiercely hunted coins in the modern US minting era. The energy grows as the emotional stakes rise. The audience is told that millions of people walk past fortunes every day because they don't recognize extraordinary opportunities hiding in plain sight. This $half is not just a coin, it's a life-changing asset. Its current market value has reached an unbelievable $945,000, and collectors are fighting for every known example. As the voice shifts slower, more serious, fear creeps in, not fear of danger, but fear of missing out. Right now, someone in America is holding a small treasure and has no idea. It could be sitting in a drawer, in a forgotten box, in a coin roll from the bank. And if they don't watch this video until the end, they just might throw away nearly $1 million. Another pattern interrupt slips in to reset attention, and honestly, if that doesn't make your heart rate jump, check your pulse, you might be a vending machine. As Act 1 develops, the audience is guided into the story of how this coin became a modern legend. Minting errors don't happen often, especially not ones of this magnitude. When they do, they create an electric surge in the collecting world, changing the lives of those who discover them. People think life-changing opportunities require luck, the narrator adds. But in reality, they require awareness. You're already proving that by still watching. Act 2 opens with cinematic momentum. The viewer is brought behind the scenes into the environment of the Philadelphia Mint in 1990, a year known for both precision and the rare unpredictability of mint machinery. A quiet intensity sets in as the narrator describes the moment the error occurred, a striking flaw, a mechanical misalignment, or an unintentional double impression that transformed a routine $half into a future six-figure trophy. The tension rises as the voice explains how this error slipped past inspectors and entered circulation, turning an everyday coin into a national treasure. There's excitement mixed with awe, returning to the emotional core. People spend their entire lives chasing opportunity. Here, opportunity chased the people. The audience is then guided through the reason collectors are willing to pay nearly $1 million for this piece. Its rarity, demand, historical significance, and error-specific characteristics create a perfect storm of desirability. The excitement is pushed higher with urgency. Examples like this don't sit on the market. They vanish almost instantly, sealed into elite collections worth more than entire houses. A quick pattern interrupt hits like a spark. Try explaining that to someone who still thinks coins are boring. Good luck. The narrative flows into why this matters to the viewer personally. You're here because you want more from life, the narrator says with steady confidence. You want the freedom, the wealth, the breakthrough moment that changes everything. And that's why coins like this matter. They show you that extraordinary possibilities exist in everyday places. Real wealth doesn't always come from the stock market, business plans, or investments. Sometimes, it comes from recognizing the hidden value in what the world overlooks. The story now pulls back to connect the viewer emotionally with their own potential. Images of individuals discovering rare coins flash metaphorically through words. There are people who found coins like this and paid off mortgages, funded retirements, took the trips they always promised themselves but never scheduled. Wealth is not a distant dream, it's a decision to pay attention. Fear of missing out intensifies. Every day you delay searching your coins, someone else discovers what could have been yours. Act 3 begins with a rising crescendo, a blend of inspiration, empowerment, and urgency. The narrator invites the audience into the turning point. This is your call to action, your moment to step into a world where knowledge transforms into wealth. The tone is uplifting, almost cinematic, reminding viewers of their motivations. You're not just watching a video. You're positioning yourself among people who create wealth by understanding opportunity before everyone else. The story now loops back to its beginning, tying every point together. The narrator reminds the audience of that astonishing $945,000 valuation and the rarity that makes this coin the centerpiece of modern numismatic demand. The excitement peaks, collectors are competing. Markets are heating. And the next major discovery could be in your home. Right now. This isn't fantasy, this is a moment in history where ordinary people find extraordinary value because they chose to look. With a final pattern interrupt, the voice adds a touch of humor before the climax. If you've watched this far, congratulations, you officially care more about your financial future than half the people who claim they want to be wealthy but still lose coins in the couch. Now the story closes with emotional resonance. Your life can transform with knowledge. Your future can shift with one discovery. And your journey to wealth begins with awareness. Search your coins. Stay informed. Because opportunities like the 1990p Kennedy $50 don't wait. They reward the ones who take action. The ending lands with undeniable authority and inspiration. This is your moment. Seize it. Act 1 opens with a hook powerful enough to stop even the most distracted viewer. Imagine this: you're holding a coin that millions of Americans overlook every single day. A coin so ordinary, you might have tossed it into a jar, a drawer, or even the glove compartment. Yet hidden inside that ordinary piece of American metal is a rare secret, one that could be worth a staggering $945,000. Yes, nearly $1 million for a single 1992 Kennedy $50 error coin. And if you think this sounds unbelievable, stay with me. Because by the end of this video, you may realize that wealth doesn't always come from Wall Street, it sometimes comes from the palm of your hand. To understand the power of this coin, we must step back into the story that shaped it. In 1992, the Denver Mint was running at full force. Billions of coins were produced nationwide, each crafted with precision, uniformity, and efficiency. But as any collector knows, even the most flawless systems slip. A tiny misalignment, a die polishing oversight, or a minting malfunction at exactly the wrong millisecond can create an error so rare that collectors lose sleep chasing it. And that's exactly what happened with this legendary 1992 Kennedy $50. A coin struck with a remarkable mint error that transformed it from pocket change to a treasure worthy of a luxury lifestyle. Now, you might be wondering, why is this coin worth so much? Why does this particular $50 command a jaw-dropping valuation of $945,000 in today's market? The answer is simple: rarity, demand, and the thrill of discovery. The error on this coin, found only in an unbelievably small number of surviving examples, has become a golden ticket in the coin collecting world. Wealth seekers, investors, and high-net-worth collectors are fighting for it, driving its price into the stratosphere. And as the market grows, the demand only skyrockets. When there are thousands of buyers and only a handful of coins, you get a perfect storm of value. A storm that just might blow open the door to your financial breakthrough. Act 2 deepens the story. Picture an ordinary day. You're sorting through old drawers, maybe cleaning the garage, or finally going through that old tin box your parents left you. You pick up a stack of old $50 without a second thought. But suddenly, something catches your eye. A date. A mint mark. A tiny detail slightly off. Your heart jumps, not in fear, but in excitement. Because now the possibility is real. A coin that has quietly traveled through time, through hands, through pockets, maybe even across states, is now in your possession. And it could be the key to rewriting your story of wealth. But here's the emotion some don't talk about: fear. The fear of missing out. The fear of accidentally spending a fortune at the grocery store. The fear of overlooking treasure because you assumed coins were just coins. Let this be your wake-up call. A pattern interrupt. If someone today handed you a $500,000 check, would you say, "No thanks, I have enough"? Exactly. So why neglect the possibilities sitting in your own home? And if you're thinking, this is too good to be true, let me remind you that every single record-breaking coin ever sold came from someone who once thought the exact same thing. Doubt never makes money. Action does, and speaking of action, let me ask you a humorous question to reset your attention. If a 1992 D. Kennedy half-dollar worth nearly $1 million fell between your couch cushions right now, would you A. calmly walk away or B. dive headfirst like you're competing in the Olympic finals? If your answer isn't B, I suggest checking your pulse. That's the exact level of urgency these modern coin markets demand. Because collectors aren't waiting. Investors aren't waiting. Wealth builders aren't waiting. They're searching, buying, flipping, studying, and winning every single day. This brings us to Act 3, where everything connects. By now you understand the rarity, the market demand, the insane valuations. But here's the deeper truth: this is not just about a coin. It's about recognizing opportunities that most people overlook. It's about understanding that wealth doesn't always appear as gold bars or stock portfolios. Sometimes, it appears as something humble, familiar, something from your childhood, something sitting in a forgotten jar. And when you uncover an opportunity like that, you don't just find money, you find possibility, freedom, control, a pathway to the lifestyle you dream of. The collectors fighting for this coin aren't just buying metal. They're buying history, prestige, exclusivity, and investment potential. With a current market value of $945,000, the 1992 D. Kennedy half-dollar error is one of the most sought-after modern rarities in American numismatics. Prices continue rising, competition intensifies, and every newly discovered coin becomes a headline. That's the world you're stepping into. A world where knowledge becomes wealth. A world where hidden treasures unlock new futures. So before we end, let me leave you with this thought. You may have already touched a fortune without realizing it. And you may touch another today. The question is, will you recognize it this time? Don't let hesitation cost you what could be your greatest opportunity yet. You deserve prosperity. You deserve the chance to change your financial destiny. And sometimes, destiny looks like a simple half-dollar minted in 1992. Your journey begins not on Wall Street, not in a bank, but in your own home. The next $1 million discovery could be in your hands. And when it comes to the 1992 D. Kennedy half-dollar error, every second counts. Start looking. Start checking. Start believing. Because someone is about to find the next one, and it might as well be you. Imagine waking up one morning to discover that the loose change you've ignored for years could unlock a new life, one filled with wealth, freedom, and opportunities you never thought possible. It sounds unbelievable, almost like the opening scene of a Hollywood film. Yet this story is unfolding right here in America, and today, it could unfold for you too. Because a single, rare USA 1996 P. Kennedy half-dollar error coin has shattered expectations, skyrocketing to a staggering market value of $987,000. Yes, nearly $1 million for a coin minted less than 3 decades ago. Now, before you rush to check your drawer, your glove box, or even that old coin jar that's been collecting dust, let me show you exactly why this particular coin has turned ordinary Americans into millionaires, and why the next one might be sitting quietly in your home right now. But there's a reason collectors, investors, and wealthy buyers are aggressively hunting for this coin. The demand is fierce, the prices are climbing, and the window of opportunity is narrowing faster than most people realize. And just when you think the story can't get more unbelievable, trust me, it does. But stay with me to the end, because this journey doesn't just explain a rare coin. It reveals a blueprint for transforming forgotten objects into life-changing assets. And by the way, if you're thinking, a half-dollar worth nearly $1 million? Come on, well, that's usually exactly what people say right before they realize they've been sitting on a fortune. Funny how the universe works, right? To understand the power of this 1996 P. Kennedy half-dollar, you have to understand the unique error behind it, an error so peculiar, so stunningly rare, that it has pushed collectors into a frenzy. During the Philadelphia Mint's production run, a small number of half-dollars were struck with a minting anomaly that created a visual and structural flaw unlike anything typically seen. This wasn't your average misprint, not a minor scratch, and definitely not the kind of flaw someone could dismiss with a shrug. This was a minting error that turned an everyday coin into an elite collectible and accidental masterpiece, and here's where the excitement becomes almost electric. The energy around this coin isn't just because it's rare. It's because the people who own these ultra-rare error coins have discovered that the high-end collector market is hungry, no, starving, for pieces that stand out. Imagine a marketplace where buyers aren't bargaining downward, they're competing upward. Where values don't decrease, they escalate. Where each sale sets a new benchmark, leaving collectors breathless and latecomers full of regret. That's exactly what's happening with the 1996 P. Kennedy half-dollar error. If you think the markets for gold or real estate are intense, try observing what happens when wealthy collectors realize there are only a handful of a particular coin left in existence. Their urgency becomes undeniable. Their desire becomes unstoppable. And the prices? They soar. One of these 1996 P errors recently shocked the market by reaching a jaw-dropping $987,000. Not because of hype. Not because of speculation. But because the combination of rarity, demand, condition, and historical anomaly created the perfect storm of value. Now, you might be wondering, what does this mean for you? That's the best part. It means that if you have one of these coins, or any rare coin with a similar anomaly, you could be sitting within arm's reach of a financial breakthrough. And yes, I know what you're thinking, did I even look at my half-dollars the last time I handled them? Don't worry, most people didn't. That's why opportunities like this slip through fingers every day. But today, it won't slip through yours. In fact, if you haven't already started mentally digging through old drawers or reminding yourself where you last stored your coin rolls, you're stronger than me. I'd have sprinted to my sock drawer by now. Just saying, this story isn't just about a rare coin. It's about awakening to the wealth that surrounds you, wealth hidden in plain sight, wealth that most people never recognize until it's too late. When you understand that something as simple as a 1996 P. Kennedy half-dollar could reshape your financial future, suddenly your old coins become more than metal. They become possibilities. They become doors. They become stepping stones to the lifestyle you've always imagined, and here's the truth that most people miss: the coin market is surging. Collectors are paying record-breaking amounts. The supply of rare coins is shrinking. The competition is intensifying. And while fear might whisper, "What if I don't have one?" excitement counters with, "What if you do?" This balance between fear and hope is exactly what drives people to take action, and the ones who act are the ones who reap the rewards. If you've ever dreamed of building wealth beyond your expectations, of elevating your lifestyle, of making choices not based on limitation but on freedom, then this is your moment. The same energy that pushed the 1996 P error to nearly $1 million is the same energy that can push you toward opportunity. This isn't luck. This isn't chance. This is awareness meeting action, and the biggest mistake people make? They wait. They hesitate. They assume someone else has better chances, better knowledge, better connections. But wealth doesn't respond to waiting. Wealth responds to movement. To curiosity. To belief. So when you finish this video, go find your coins. Look through them with new eyes. Because the next 1996 P. Kennedy half-dollar error is out there, and it's only worth nearly $1 million if the right person discovers it. Why shouldn't that person be you? As the demand grows and prices continue to rise, remember this: the people who change their lives are the ones who recognize opportunities before they become headlines. You're here right now, absorbing information that most people will never learn. That alone gives you an edge. And if you want more stories, more discoveries, more life-changing opportunities hidden in everyday objects, then stay connected. Because this journey is just beginning, and the next breakthrough might be closer than you think.